So I've actually been on YouTube for over a decade now, which is kind of crazy to think about. And I started out with, originally creating a channel, reviewing tech products, mobile applications. And, it took a little bit of time, but it started to snowball and it really started to take off. But then something clicked. Basically, I started to be like, okay, well, if I ran this for this app, what else could I do? And then I started to have people ask me, hey, can you help me with YouTube ads for funnels? I mean, that's what you're doing for yourself.
Yeah. But also why YouTube, right? Over everything else. Like, I'd love for you to just kind of dig into that a bit.
So not only is YouTube ads a blue ocean, there's less advertisers, less of us, kind of marketing consultants, coaches over there, but it's also the way the platform works. It's intent-based. People aren't going onto Facebook to find your webinar. On YouTube, think about the way that it works. It's intent-based. So people actually are searching for, how to get more leads, how to get more sales. They're searching for fitness.
So it's actually partially inbound rather than,
Exactly. You have that intent.
We're all marketers. Like, marketers understand this. Like, if you can get the right audience that is in the right, you said before, right learner's mindset, like that's the golden goose. Like, that's the goose that laid the golden egg. Like, you want those people who are in consumption mode. If you're pitching a webinar, we do lots of mini webinars too. Mini webinars are long form webinars, right? They're in the learner's mindset, and it's like, that's what you want. Versus Facebook, it's interruptive advertising. And it still works. Like, everybody and their brother is marketing on Facebook because they know it works, but take the time, learn how to create YouTube ads, learn the YouTube platform, because that's where your audience is really hanging out.
Exactly. Ahmad's a great example, right? Where he comes in and he had been doing that 50, 60K off of Facebook, and it was, kind of fluctuating, that kind of thing. And he has an incredible offer. He's an incredible personality, right? His marketing is what was stopping him from getting that 100K months. He also closes well on the phone. He just didn't have enough at bats. Get up and running on YouTube. First, he starts at 25% YouTube, and he's starting to see, wow, quality on YouTube is better, right? Then we go up to 50%. When we go up to 75%, once we go up to 75% YouTube, now, remember, he went from just like being like, oh, I just want something if Facebook, is shut down, I know that I'll have leads coming in, to 75%. Now, the only reason he told me for Facebook, he just wants to have a little diversity on the other way, right? On Facebook, right? Pick some low-hanging fruit over there. And so now 75%, that was his first $100,000 a month. And literally that same month, he was in Best Buy. This was actually, towards the end of that month. That was, in November, which was, obviously it was Black Friday here in America. And he was in Best Buy. Somebody tapped him on the shoulder. They're like, "Are you Ahmad?" And he's like, "Yes." He's like, "I've seen you on YouTube. You're the YouTube guy. I love those ads."
So, where do we start? What's kind of like this, like, where are we going to enter into the spider web of YouTube ads?
So the big mistake that I found that people make when they start advertising, on YouTube, and this actually kind of goes into other platforms too, is, a lot of people just advertise in two dimensions. And so, for instance, on Facebook, kind of the classic example is you have the demographics of who somebody is, and then you're combining that with interests, likes, behaviors. And again, that can be very powerful, and it is very powerful for a lot of people. But the problem is it's only two dimensions. You don't have what they're doing right now. They're just kind of scrolling through Facebook. On YouTube, you have two different dimensions. You have the demographics, who they are, but then you have what they're watching right now. So for instance, let's say somebody's looking up how to get leads or how to get fit, how to get in shape. And let's say you have a fitness funnel, right? You could run your ad in front of that person, but you don't know who they are. You just know what they're watching. So what we've done is we've perfected the art of creating what I call 3D targeted YouTube ads that actually have 3 dimensions of targeting. And we'll talk about that triangle that allows you not only to pinpoint the perfect high ticket or course buyer, but also allows you to scale that advertisement up very efficiently, because you actually have the ability to reach more people. It's not just a small placement. You actually have these audiences and these targeting options that can scale. So we've created this concept of 3D YouTube ads, where you take the demographics of who somebody is and also incorporate into it household income. which Google is actually much better. Not a lot of people know this, but I think the listeners will really appreciate this. Google's really good at determining household income on an individual level versus on Facebook, it's zip code. We know that it's zip code. Google, it's individual, it's your actual household income. And again, it's not perfect, but it does a little bit of a better job. So you take that demographics, you have the video somebody's actually watching right now, and you can do that with keywords, placement targeting. You could do that with topic targeting, right? So you have a collection of the video that they're watching. So maybe a keyword is how to lose weight or how to get fit. And then you combine that with a third element that a lot of people don't know you could do on YouTube. And that is actually combining it with affinity and interest audiences. So you can layer what they're watching with who they are. They're starting to realize, wait a second, I can pinpoint exactly who I want. As I described with that triangle earlier with the 3D targeting, I can pinpoint exactly who I want in the center of this with YouTube and target based on intent. Not just people scrolling on a newsfeed, which again, we all know Facebook works.
Yeah.
But think about it, right? As people scrolling on a newsfeed, it's more interruption based. Versus Google, it's intent based. People are actively looking up how to lose weight, and it's still interrupting, right? But you basically reach them at the moment that they're looking for that with your own ad. But one of the big benefits that YouTube has right now is you can actually go into the campaign and see the exact number of leads, sales, conversions that come from each individual audience, each individual video you're targeting. You can get as granular as a specific video you're running your ad in front of, or a specific keyword, or a specific audience. Whereas on Facebook, as you know, right, you just have a campaign, and there could be one audience or affinity that you're targeting that's working, but if the overall campaign is kind of performing mediocre, you have to throw the whole thing out, the baby out with the bathwater, right? Versus on YouTube, we take I like to call it, right, a bullseye approach. So we cast a wide net, we're throwing darts at the board, but we can see, let's say each dart is a different keyword we're using. The keywords are like tags on a YouTube video. So it could be business coaching, how to get more leads, how to get more sales. And let's say that business coaching works, how to get leads, but maybe how to get sales, like it's attracting people who have a different type of business, or they're more e-commerce, and not the type of person you're looking for. All you have to do is get rid of that keyword, because you can see that keyword has produced less conversions. One of the biggest mistakes that people make when they advertise, when they advertise on YouTube, is they see these commercials like Geico and Ford, and they're like 30-second ads, right? And so they'll just create this 30-second ad or 60-second ad. And they're like, they have a hook, maybe it's good, maybe it's not, and then they say, okay, go sign up for my webinar. Those ads don't work because they're not natural. We found the best length for a YouTube ad is between 3 and 5 minutes long. So you want something that actually captures people's attention, actually provides value, and then gets them to take action. So the first component is a hook. You really want to pull the right person in, push the wrong person away. Then on your video, you want to provide value. You want to give educational content, so like 2-3 minutes of value, because people are on YouTube to learn. They're not on YouTube just to be told to sign up for a webinar. So you want people to come to the conclusion on their own that the best use of their time is to sign up for your webinar.
And then the components of your ad is broken down into 3 parts. Hook to capture the attention, educate and give a couple of golden nuggets, and then your call to action, pushing them to whatever the next step is, a VSL, webinar, mini webinar, you name it.
Alrik Heck, how can people find you online? How can they find your gifts? How can they take a deeper dive and give you all their money? Tell us.
Absolutely. So I'll talk about the gift in a second, but obviously to find me, I think a really good resource that I have is we have a free Facebook group on YouTube Ads for Entrepreneurs. So if you look up YouTube Ads for Entrepreneurs, you'd also look up my name, Alrik Heck, and you'll find that there on Facebook. So that's just a community that we have. That's a good spot to not miss things. But at the same time, if you have heard enough, right, we'll talk about the gifts in a second, but if you're like, I need to talk to Alrik, I need to talk with his team. Actually, most likely will be an advisor, because we've been growing. Our goal is to help as many people as possible. But within the program, that lets me, actually touch people's ads. So like, I'm actually going on these calls and logging into people's ads accounts because I love that. That's what I live for. And but to be able to talk with one of our advisors, you can go to AdOutreach. That's ADOUTREACH.com. So AdOutreach.com/apply, and you can schedule a time to speak with our team. Again, it's like a 45-minute call, but it's to dive in to see how YouTube ads will work with your business, if it's a good fit. Especially coaches, consultants, course creators, like that's our bread and butter.
Alrik, thank you so much. Dude, that's crazy content. I appreciate I love when people can get on and go, okay, these are the 3 things you need to do. You got to do this, 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 and this, and here's where you go next.